Okay, so another tattoo story. One evening, this woman walks into a tattoo parlor and she says, I'm in love with Burt Reynolds. I've always been in love with Burt Reynolds. And I'd like you to put Burt Reynolds' face on the inside of my left thigh. And the tattoo artist says, okay, I think we can do that. So he's got a picture, she brings a picture along with her, you know. And so he sits down and she sits down in front of him and she pulls up her skirt and he starts working away and about 45 minutes later he goes, okay, done. And she says, let me have a look. And she takes a look and she gets a mirror and she looks in the mirror and she goes, that doesn't look anything like Burt Reynolds. And he goes, yes, it does. It looks exactly like Burt Reynolds. It looks just like the photo you brought me. She goes, no, it doesn't. He goes, yes, it does. She goes, no, it doesn't, and I'm not satisfied, and I'm not going to pay you. And he goes, okay. I say that it does. She says, well, I say it doesn't. He said, okay, look, I'll make you a deal. I'll put the same tattoo on your right thigh, the inner thigh. If that looks like Burt Reynolds, then you pay me double. If not, then you don't have to pay me anything. And she goes, okay, that's fair enough. So he sits back down, he starts working away. Another 45 minutes later, he's all done. He goes, there you go, there's Burt Reynolds. And she looks at it and she goes, that doesn't look like Burt Reynolds at all. In fact, that looks less like Burt Reynolds than the first one you did. And he goes, no, it doesn't. They both look exactly like Burt Reynolds. And she goes, no, it doesn't look like Burt Reynolds. He goes, yes, it does. And she goes, no, it doesn't. He goes, yes, it does. And it's obvious they're not going to come to any kind of an agreement. So he goes, okay, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Since you and I can't agree either way, I say it does, you say it doesn't. How about the first person that walks past the door, we have them come in and be an impartial judge. If that person says it looks like Burt Reynolds, you owe me $300. If he or she says it doesn't, then what we'll do is we'll just call it even and you can leave. And you don't owe me anything, okay? And she goes, all right, well, that's fair. So they're waiting and about 4 minutes later, this drunk staggers by. And the tattoo artist calls him in and he goes, hey, I'm going to give you $50, but I want you to sit down. I want you to take a look and tell me what you see on the inside of this lady's thighs. And he goes, okay. And so he sits down in front of her, and of course she pulls her skirt up, and the drunk is enjoying himself because she hasn't got any panties on. And he's looking and he's looking and he looks over and he looks over here and he looks over there and he looks over there. And the tattoo artist says, now, do those tattoos look like anybody famous? And he's looking and looking. And she says, well, what do you see? And he says, I'll tell you the truth. I don't know about the two guys on the outside, but the one in the middle is definitely Willie Nelson.